March 21st. The first night we spent at home. There were shellings, we ran to the basement. April 2nd, we ate pigeons for the first time.
Hi, my name is Lera. I'm 7 years old. This is my mom, Svetlana, and we survived the occupation in Ukraine.
Before the war, we lived in 2 cities. Our main city was in Donetsk region, Volnovakha district, just 20 kilometers from Volnovakha, an urban-type settlement, and the second city was Zaporizhzhia. It just so happened that in February, after the new year, I really wanted to go home and see my relatives and friends. I returned to my settlement on February 19th, and by February 24th, we were already living in the basement. On February 24th, my child and I woke up absolutely calmly and were doing our usual things. Around noon, a friend called me and asked, "At least you're not at school, right? That's it. Pack your things. We're going to the basement."
Hello, we're starting a new project where we tell you about children, teenagers, and their families whose lives have been changed by the war in Ukraine. We documented the story of 7-year-old Lera and her mother Svetlana, who endured occupation in Donetsk region and spent over a month in a basement. We ask you to be respectful in the comments, to respect our heroes and each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that as many people as possible can see our story. Thank you and see you next time.
War is... Well, you have to go to the basement and sit there. Because war means shelling. It was scarier at home because you could really hear how there were shellings. It was like some kind of cabinet fell over. Such a loud noise. I started constantly calling my mom, "Let's go to the basement, let's go, let's go, let's go." I was worried about my toys because I love them very much and I have a whole box of them. I didn't have time to take any toys with me. I didn't have time to take anything at all.
Within a week, the village was gone. My house is 3 stories. We don't have a basement, so we had to look for a place in other houses. We found a 5-story building nearby, and everyone was there, downstairs. So many people. It was just a basement. If you didn't bring anything with you, you just sit on the cement in complete darkness. After a week, everything... There was no internet, no electricity, no water, and direct hits on residential buildings. One night, we were tired of the basement, and it seemed to us that, in general, the day had been quiet. We decided to spend the night in the apartment. We slept for about an hour and a half, if you can even call it sleep. I woke up because everything was rumbling. And from the window of the biggest room, I could see the neighboring building exploding, bricks flying everywhere. When we were running to the basement, people were already standing at the basement doors. Too scared to go out, someone reaches for you saying, "Hurry, hurry." I feel like I start running faster than my child. And I just dragged her into the basement. We went down, I turned around and realized that my mom wasn't running behind us. I ran outside and started shouting, but she just ran past the entrance in the dark and simply didn't notice it because it was pitch black. Then I decided that I wouldn't go home anymore because running during a bombing is the most dangerous thing. And in that house, we survived a direct hit. It hit the second floor, the walls split apart. It felt like they moved apart like this and then came back together. It's when you look at everyone and they all look at you. And you could read everything in their eyes, that's all. One of the men got up to see where the fire was. And he calls out the last name of the apartment owner. And then a hysterical scream starts. Grandma is shouting, "Roma is there, Roma is there." We didn't understand anything at first, but it turns out that's her grandson. While we were reviving her, everything was burning. and we could hear the sounds of fire upstairs. He came down in his socks, got his bearings, managed to get out of the rubble and survived, and even rescued his cat. Honestly, after that night, there was no longer a feeling that it would end today or tomorrow. We realized that all of this was just destroying us. Then, when there were already people with white armbands in the village, well, there was a moment when they didn't approach young women, they just asked them to cook food for them. Is there somewhere to bathe? Can we do it at your place? I tried to avoid those places and not run into them anywhere at all. And so, when they said that the owner of the well was shot in the leg, for reasons unknown, maybe, I suspect, maybe he said there was no water.
You tried not to interact with them, right? But what about others who did talk to them? What did they say about them?
They were ordinary like us. I don't know what that means. But an ordinary person can't stand next to you with a weapon. An ordinary person can't shoot through your doors since you won't open them. And there was such a case, well, my friend told me that she didn't open the door and they shot through it. An ordinary person wouldn't do that. So what is meant by these words, no, I don't know. One day, when my husband called and asked me to please go to the commandant's office, I went there to ask when the village would be open for entry and exit. I'm with my child, I'm hungry, we don't have any food, can I? Well, I want to go there. To which the soldier replied, are you crazy? Everyone is going through this, just sit and endure it.
How did you even get the idea to write in this diary?
Here, in the diary itself, that's how the first entry begins. The day before yesterday, I dreamed about a book. I realized that everyone should know about us, that they should understand that a war has started, a truly terrible, dangerous, deadly and destructive war. That all people are important, that there are no small or big cities. We are all important. On March 21st, it was the first night we spent at home. When the shelling started, we ran to the basement on April 2nd. It was the first time we ate pigeons. It wasn't because we wanted to try what they tasted like, we just wanted the children to have a meat dish because it was only potatoes, only potatoes.
That's how I didn't eat anything, didn't drink anything. Practically, I wanted to sleep all the time because I was getting used to.
There were food supplies, well, you know, you had bread, cookies, all that, tea, of course, and water. For me, that was the number one issue. Wells. Originally, they were not meant for consumption. And when a large flow of people constantly comes and takes water there, I don't know, maybe in a week, maybe even less. You brought water home under shelling, you brought it, you bring it, but it's just sand, it doesn't even settle, it's scary to drink it. Well, at that moment, I didn't think about it. The children had problems, they had digestive issues and all that. Now it seems, how could you do that? But back then you did it, you drank water with sand. And when you come and the owner of the well, on whose land it is, says, you have to understand, you need to wait 3 days for the water to arrive, and people are standing there. Give at least some, anything, let me scoop up a little, I'll do something with it, just give me some water. The main task was to go out, get some water, call my daughter and husband, try to reach them. Husband, yes. Later, when I got to Zaporizhia, he showed me that yes, there is a group for searching for relatives. Because for a week and a half we didn't go out, I didn't have the opportunity to go or to call, and when you get there the shelling starts and you have to go back. and so I couldn't get through on the phone. Yes, he was writing in chats with our photos, mine and my daughter's, but he doesn't show the men. Well, as I understand it, he already had thoughts that people hated us.
Lera endured all these circumstances. How did you tell her all this?
During the first days, the basement was like a game for the children. But then, after there was a direct hit, she didn't speak at all for more than a day. Well, I didn't bother her, I didn't force her. Somehow everything smoothed out on its own. The problem is the fear, like when a child won't use the bathroom for 3 days. You understand that it can't be like that. It could end badly, especially when there's no medical help. There was nothing like that. I want, like here, you come in, like all the kids, they want something. I want this, I want that. Or even like that. Mom, I would like a candy. Mom, I would like some bread or something, because there wasn't any, like when there wasn't any bread at all. Although when they brought us a box of candies, a package, and started dividing it among everyone who had kids, among all the families, they all sat there. No one shouted, no one jumped up, but it was like, when will you divide it? When will I get this candy? The biggest fear was leaving the child alone, always and everywhere, leaving them alone. It seemed to me that no one could protect her more than I could. On April 5th, a friend invited us over. When we arrived, she said to me, "Let's go to the next building. They promised us a little sunflower oil." We ran out of the entrance and hurried over, and right away there were explosions nearby. Lera isn't with me. Why did I leave her? What should I do now? How do I run? Can we run? Can't we run? There's dust everywhere. I see it near the building where my child is. I grab my Lera by the hand and we run again, we run to the basement. I realize that my mom is outside and I don't know where she is. In the darkness of the basement, the door creaks, someone is coming down, I hear a familiar voice. My mom has come. She saw us when we were running to the basement, took shelter in the entrance, waited, and came right after us. Lera jumped in. Lera jumped on her with a running start and knocked her onto the bed. It's dark here, I thought, and no one will see that I'm crying.
I had only one friend down there in the basement, and we talked, played, and were friends for a very long time. And at some point we had to leave. And that's how I left him there.
It was on the 7th or 8th of April. A minibus drives up and asks, "Can you tell me where this address is?" I say, "Who are you looking for there?" "We're looking for Svetlana." My child was near the basement. I took my child, I ran through the basements and invited people. There is space, there are places, let's go, let's get out. People were so scared. Everyone was like, "Didn't you hear? Didn't you hear? You can't leave, it's dangerous. Where are you going? Why are you taking your child with you?" I picked up my mom from the garden, you could say, and we left. You're driving, worried about entering a strange city and another basement, just as they said. It's the Mariupol highway. We got off it somewhere, then got back on again. Well, it's like a scary, horrible movie, but I realized this is reality. We saw a lot of destroyed equipment and a lot of civilian cars. I understand what that means. Those cars didn't arrive on their own. People drove them. When you reach the last checkpoint, you have to drive slowly so they don't suspect you of anything. We drive out very, very smoothly, and a huge Ukrainian flag is waving in the wind like this. It was so emotional. Well, I don't know. My husband, of course, they didn't let him through. At first he started walking toward me, but there was a barrier tape and they stopped him right away. Our child slipped under that rope and stood with his dad while I was giving my information.
And I saw a car where my dad's face was, someone who looked like him. I was so happy that I finally met my dad because I missed him so much. I just have no words.
After spending the whole summer in Zaporizhzhia, life became normal, everything was good, but at some point, literally in September, I stopped sleeping at night again. Because when the siren goes off, it's scary. Then we got used to the siren and thank God nothing happens. But then when you let your guard down, the siren goes off again. And in the city center, half of a building is gone. There was a moment when I didn't want to leave. I told my husband we should all stay together, but my husband insisted that we leave. No matter what, he said, I can manage on my own, but with you it will be much harder.
And now, do you miss the dogs without your sister? Yes, I do miss them. I still have a dog there. I miss her. I miss my bed. I miss everything. The day before yesterday, I dreamed about him. The war, yes, I dreamed about the war. It was like my favorite toy was stolen. It was a little pink kitten. It was my absolute favorite.
In the village, we had my parents' house and the apartment my husband and I owned. When I left, everything was in good condition. This is already here in Poland. I joined a group and there's a description going on, and I realized that the apartment is destroyed. It hurt me so much. I don't know, you used to think you couldn't feel this way. For example, yes, to overcome your fear and cross a road that is lined with various shells. And you go there because you know that your mom is there. You go, you see a tripwire hanging over a tree, and you go, you do it, you carry a child when she can't run, but you have to run. The value of things has changed. Yes, there are on TikTok everywhere, on these social networks, there are videos that everyone customizes for themselves. And someday you'll get that call, hello, we won.